child struggling to, learn to read. And I would get nervous when a teacher would ask me to read a section in the book. So I would actually try to go read ahead so I could make sure I knew the words. But did you know that children having books and reading regularly plays a role in their education? My name is Andrea. I'm a UALR Speech 1300 student. I completed 4 hours of service learning at First Book. Today I want to talk to you about my service learning and inform you about the organization at First Book. First, I'm going to tell you about my service learning. Next, I will tell you about 2 communication concepts, a principle connected to my service learning, and finally, I will tell you about 2 implications that pertain to my service learning. First, I'm going to start with what I did for my service. First, I'm going to start with where I did my service. I completed my service in Little Rock, Arkansas Goodwill Warehouse. Did you know that Disney donates thousands of books to the First Book organization? The mission to my organization, according to First Book, emphasizes a few key ideas. Number 1, First Book is a non-profit social enterprise that provides new books, learning materials, and other essentials to children in need. 2, First Book has distributed more than $150 million to programs in schools serving children from low-income families. 3rd, 88% of educators agree that First Book helps close the achievement gap for kids they serve. My service learning experience was good. The people were very kind and happy to be there. My partner name was Lisa. We worked well together. Our task was to package thousands of books and get them out to children. It wasn't easy. In fact, it was very hard. My back was hurting. But I was happy to play a role in something that was really important to me, and I think it's just a wonderful organization. My service learning helped this organization by getting over 900,000 books packaged out to children in need, and that was just my group in our 4 hours that we were there. We delivered the solution and made it possible for all children to learn and grow. Moving on, there are 2 communication concepts connected to my service. First one is small group communication. According to Lane, Abigail, and Gooch 2015, small group communication occurs when a small number of people, such as 5 to 7 or 3 to 12 people, share a common purpose and interact for a reason. For example, we all came together and communicated how we was going to get thousands of books packaged and out to children in 4 hours of our time here. We delivered this. My example illustrated the definition because we were a small group and we worked together for the purpose. My second communication concept is short-term task-oriented group. The definition, according to Lane, Abigail, and Gooch 2015, is a group that forms a limited period to accomplish a particular goal and then disbands when the goal is achieved. An example from my service learning is we all picked an area, we worked with our partners, to get the books packaged, and we all was team players. My example illustrates this because we reached our goal as a group. Now moving on to a relevant communication principle, which is communication is irreversible. According to the Euler Course Manual 2015, it's a dynamic process that cannot be reversed. Once the message is interpreted, the interpretation becomes part of the person's history. There are no do-overs. An example from my service is we had a team member that kept coming asking for our labels because we had to put labels on the packages as well, and she would come and take like a whole lot. And she kept coming. My partner was in charge of doing the labels, and so she just kept coming. And after a while, my partner, she could tell in her tone and her facial expression that she didn't want to share. So she didn't come ask my partner anymore. And my example illustrates this principle because once my partner was done, she took the labels to her, and she didn't want them, you know, I could tell that her, into the interpretation that my team member got from her, that's how she took her, and there was no do-overs after that. Now let's talk about my civil and ethical implications. First one is concern for the community. The explanation in this implication, according to Course Manual 2015, is committing to the practice of daily actions, interactions, and performances of engaged citizens that promote co-created community experience. For example, since my service learning, I've gotten old books that my children don't read anymore that they outgrew, and I've donated them to the watershed and to daycares. This implication relates to my story because after learning about the organization, I'm more informed about how important it is for children to have books and read. Second implication is caring with grace. According to the Course Manual 2015, is understanding and meeting the needs of people we interact with. Example, we all talked about why we chose the organization. And we all have a deep concern for the kids. This implication helped create positive change because we were helping children in low-income families have the source to get books for their children. In conclusion, I have told you about my service learning, that first book. I have told you about the experience and pointed out some communication concepts, implication, and the principle, and informed you about First Look organization and what they do. First Look has a great impact on children's lives and gives all children a chance to be all they can be. Children having the materials to learn is crucial for their future.